Hi there, sweet friends. I'm Rita Joy, host of the Harbor Breeze Home Podcast, and today we're going to tackle the riveting and thrilling topic of house cleaning. Whether you're someone who dances with glee over the thought of dusting shelves and cleaning toilets, or someone who'd rather hire someone else to do that, we're going to talk about some tips and tricks I learned from the pros when it comes to getting the cleaning tasks checked off our to-do list. Whew, that's a tongue twister. Have you ever seen one of those funny meme questionnaires on social media that says something like, would you rather cook dinner, do laundry, or clean the house? I find it slightly humorous that there's never an option like none of the above. The truth is, for those of us with a home to live in, that home also comes with a rather long list of responsibilities to keep it. Yes, things can be neglected and ignored if we just don't feel like dealing with them. But over time, the neglected and ignored can build up to the point the place is such an overwhelming disaster that a person doesn't even know where to start to get it back in order. Cleaning is one of those things. Even if you're good at tidying up and organization, cleaning is one of those pesky little tasks that if left undone for a long time, it can lead to quite the unpleasant and messy situation. And let's face it, many people are juggling full-time jobs, raising kids, and looking after a house at the same time. That's a lot of things to be managing. I've never done any real research on this next thought, so I don't know what the actual science is behind it. But I do believe that as we grow into adulthood, many of the habits and practices we have in our own daily lives are a result to a point of watching what happened in the home we grew up in. I know for myself, many of the things I needed to do as a newlywed with my own home made me ponder how my mom would accomplish that task, and then I'd do it that way. Are you the same? That method served me well in many ways. For instance, my mom modeled how to host dinner guests many times as I was growing up. Watching her taught me how to plan a menu ahead, cook and prepare as much as possible ahead of time, set a pretty table, and how to serve the meal and get the place all cleaned up nice after it was over. My mom was an excellent homemaker, and I still miss being able to pick up the phone and call her when I have questions about things. But there was one thing I didn't learn from my mom: how to clean a house. I know, that sounds shocking even as I type it. Let me explain. My mom kept a very tidy house, and it really wasn't in terrible condition as far as cleaning goes. However, I don't remember seeing my mom do much cleaning. Maybe she did it when we were at school? I'm sure if she were around now and I'd ask her about it, she'd probably laugh and say, "Didn't I teach you better than that?" We'd laugh and go on our merry little way. I found out after I was married that I was going to have to figure out this house cleaning thing on my own, which brings me to an important point. Regardless of how long you've been keeping a house, remember, how you keep your house is your choice. If you remember your house growing up as being messy and chaotic, you do not have to have that be the reality in your own home. However, if you want your home to be different than what you grew up in, you'll have to take the initiative and make intentional steps to make reality be different than what you observed and is your natural method of operation. I have a good friend who told me that her stepmother's home that she grew up in was like a house on the Hoarders show. Excessive clutter took up space in every room, and it was absolutely filthy. Now she's grown with her own home. It's welcoming, clean, and decorated to feel like a space you want to spend time in and relax. That didn't happen naturally. She took time to observe other ways women kept their homes and strategically tried to learn to have a home that was different than what she grew up in. Homemaking is like learning any other important life skill or trade. If you want to do it well and efficiently, and it doesn't come naturally for you, there's no shame in approaching it like it's a super important class in university. The truth is, homemaking is a serious role. I used to write on application forms that I was a domestic engineer. It sounds so much more official and important than homemaker. doesn't it? But seriously, homemaking does involve managing many systems and encompasses a broad range of skills. A quick Google search of the definition of homemaking came up with this. Homemaking is the management of a household and includes tasks such as cleaning, maintenance, organizing, shopping, taking care of kids, managing schedules, and preparing food. I mentioned in episode 6 how I spent time early on in our married life figuring out how to plan meals, shop groceries once a month, and freeze meals to save stress when it came to preparing food as part of my role as a homemaker. But as our boys joined our family one by one, I found getting all the things done in the home, plus looking after them, became much more challenging. I've battled with various health issues as an adult and struggled with extreme fatigue on a regular basis. It was especially difficult when the boys were toddlers. We didn't have any family nearby to help, so my husband and I were on our own to try to figure out how we could get everything done to have our home be what we wanted it to be for our kids. Added to our reality is that our clutter personalities, see episode 11 for more information on that, is such that we can't rest and relax in a messy and dirty environment. I remember lamenting to my husband one day that I wished we could afford a house cleaner to help, a thought which he would have gladly supported if we actually had 2 pennies to pinch together for that at the time. But that conversation got me to thinking about what it would be like to have a house cleaner. I started asking my friends who actually had house cleaners what it was like to have one. I found out 2 things. Number 1, my friends told me that they always had to clean and tidy up every room before the house cleaner would come. Usually it was a mad scramble. Oh no, the house cleaner is coming tomorrow. I need to tidy up. A house cleaner usually doesn't do things like pick up things off the floor, wash dirty dishes, or fold laundry. A house cleaner just cleans. So all the surfaces have to be cleared off before she's able to do her job. And number 2, a house cleaner would normally have her job finished in just an hour or 2 a week, depending on the size of the house. Those 2 thoughts made me come up with an idea. I already was working on a daily basis to have a routine for tidying up each day so the house was relatively tidy. Well, as much as could be with busy boys and Lego, Hot Wheels, and marble sets. The part that excited me the most was that a house cleaner could clean a house in just an hour a week? Seriously? The thought of having my entirely house spotlessly clean in just an hour made me giddy with excitement. But the problem was, I didn't have a hot clue how to put together a system to accomplish that goal. So I headed to our little public library and started seeing what books were available on the topic. I requested a whole bunch of ones that looked interesting and then waited with much anticipation for them to come in. When I went to pick up the whole stack of books on the topic of house cleaning, the kind librarian asked me if I was starting a cleaning business. Nope, I replied. I'm just trying to figure out how to get my own home clean as fast as humanly possible. She laughed and I went on my merry book researching way. I guess I've always been a fan of learning new things, and I remember finding great joy in looking for cleaning tips and tricks in those books that would work for us. And I also remember the most helpful book of all was the Maid Cleaning Handbook. I just looked it up online and found it again. It has a bright pink cover with the taglines, "The Complete Guide to a Clean House," packed with 30 years of trade secrets to keeping a clean house, fast and easy tips and cleaning solutions, and eco-friendly ideas to make your house shine. I studied that thing as if I was going to be the best Maid cleaner they'd ever seen in the company. But I was applying for a job only at my house. I absolutely loved their thorough explanation of how they speed clean houses as a cleaning company, and I decided to try to do the same in my own home. So rather than hire a house cleaner, my husband would take our 3 little boys to a nearby park for about an hour one evening each week, and I'd fly through the house cleaning it before they could get home and dump out the Legos again. It was a system that worked well for us, and it provided a way for me to feel I could accomplish an important goal for our home with the least amount of stress as possible. So do you want to know what some of the cleaning tips and tricks I learned from the pros at Maid were? Of course you do. Here are some of them. Number 1, put together a cleaning caddy of supplies that you can carry from one room to the next. That includes garbage bags, cleaning cloths, and cleaning solution if you use it. I personally use the Norwex cleaning system in my home, which is an amazing system that uses microfiber cloths and just water. It's a great system if you want to cut out the nasty chemicals that a lot of cleaners have in them, and I found it saves you money in the long run. I also love their mop system. Okay, number 2, start cleaning from the top of a room to the bottom, starting at the far end of the room and working your way towards the door. Set the garbage can outside the door first thing and start cleaning. Dust from top to bottom and end with cleaning the floor. Number 3, bathrooms are one of the trickier rooms in a house to clean, so of course they had lots of recommendations for that. Here's some that I remember. First, spray down the tub and shower so the cleaning solution can do its job cleaning the surface while you do other things. I found that making my own cleaning solution with Dawn detergent and vinegar water in a spray bottle works better than I found anything pre-made. While that is working, wipe down your vanity, sink, and mirror area. And by the time you're finished with that, you can go back to that tub and shower and finish wiping it down. End by cleaning the toilet and then the floor. Number 4, move through your house systematically, finishing one room completely before starting on another. I'm laughing as I read these cleaning tips out loud. I don't want you to misunderstand me here. Is my house always spotlessly clean? Absolutely not. I joke with my friends that the best motivation I ever have for cleaning my house is having guests over, so I really should schedule that once a week. The good news is we're having an out-of-town guest arriving soon to stay for a week, so I've been motivated to try out some of the cleaning tips I just talked about. Another thing, now that it's just the 2 of us at home, it is easier to maintain as far as weekly cleaning and laundry goes. So if you're looking ahead towards the middle-age years and wondering what it might look like, you can be encouraged about that part. So that's all I have for you today, sweet friends, on the topic of house cleaning. I'll link up some more resources in the show notes if you'd like to do some research and learn some more tips and tricks to save you time and energy when it comes to house cleaning too. Have a wonderful day and happy house cleaning. Toodaloo!